thanks so much to our live stream sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. On the phone line, we have Illinois State Treasurer Michael Frericks. How are you today, Treasurer Frericks?
Tim, I am wonderful. Good to be back on the air with you.
Yeah, so good to have you back on. How have things been since the last time we talked? It's been a while.
It has been a crazy summer. I've been traveling around this great big state. It's been busy with a lot of things, and just finished up the Illinois State Fair over a week ago, and now we're in the middle of the Du Quoin State Fair.
Amazing, and that's what I wanted to talk to you about first today. You're just recently at the Illinois State Fair. I saw your tent out there. I saw your life-size picture out there as well. That's always fun to see. How'd the Illinois State Fair go?
It went really well. It was a great time. The weather cooperated. I haven't heard the final numbers yet, but I'm pretty sure they're going to smash some records.
Wow.
We know that we returned an awful lot of money to people while we were there in our tent. The life-size cardboard cutout is a nice thing for kids to show up, to see how they measure up, talk about college savings, but while their parents are there, hopefully they're checking to see if we have money that belongs to them.
Absolutely. And it's a really cool way, and it's a tangible way to see what the Treasurer's Office does at the Illinois State Fair. Just for one, returning unclaimed property. You have some pretty cool displays out there.
We do. We have physical property that we auction off at the State Fair, but people would come and they could look at it. We had staff members out there willing to help them search. We find when people go online, about 1 in 4 people find something that belongs to them.
There you go.
So the odds, there's no guarantee, but the odds are not bad.
Yeah.
The average amount we return is about $1,000. So well worth your time and effort. It doesn't take very long, and we return tens of thousands of dollars over the course of the State Fair.
My goodness. And reiterate, for that $1,000 that 1 in 4 Illinoisans can find out there, what is that money usually comprised of?
It could be a variety of things. It could be something like a forgotten savings account. It could be a last paycheck from a previous employer that never got to you. Maybe you put a deposit with a power company or the water company and you moved, it didn't get to you. It could be a rebate or a refund that went to the wrong address or was disguised, looked like junk mail. Or maybe someone named you as the beneficiary of a life insurance policy and you were unaware of it.
Yeah.
Any number of ways that companies or banks are holding on to money that belongs to people in Illinois, and we fight every day to get it back into their hands.
Yeah, absolutely. And I understand the why, but returning unclaimed property or money, it seems like just a huge push here. Is this something that we would find in most other states in America, or is this something that the Illinois State Treasurer's Office has really been focusing on in the past couple of years?
So I'd say this is something that most states have, this consumer protection of unclaimed property. I think almost every state does it in some form or other. It's not always under the treasurer.
Sure.
But I would say in Illinois, we're national leaders. We've done a really good job of returning more money. I'm the president of the National Association of State Treasurers. Before that, my staff has been very active in the National Association of Unclaimed Property Administrators. And other states routinely call us and ask for help, ask for advice. We stand ready to help them. I like to tell people that we have good ideas, but we don't trademark them. We don't patent them. We don't register them. If they're good for people in Illinois, they'll be good for people in Indiana or good for people in Texas. We're more than happy to share ideas to put more money back into the pockets of our citizens.
Gosh, that's just an amazing message right there. And we have Illinois State Treasurer on the line right now, Michael Frericks, with us. So when we're talking Illinois State Fair, I know we're going to talk the live auction. How'd that go?
That was wonderful.
Good.
We had great weather that day. We had a great turnout. We auctioned off a lot of items. They even let me try my hand at a few different things.
Cool.
Up on stage. We've been doing this for 10 years now. I very much enjoy it. I grew up around auctions, either at county fairs or estate sales, and so I'm far from a professional. But it was fun to auction off a few different physical properties.
That is really awesome. You got to try your hand at actual auctioneering, you're saying?
Yeah,
Wow.
I got to be on stage and say, we got 10, we got 10, we got 20, 20, 20, 20, 25, 25, 30, 30, 35, 40. And just, it was fun to go through the cadence. It was fun to see people do this. We auctioned off some football cards, auctioned off some really old coins, and also a really old $5 bill with Abraham Lincoln's face on it. You know, being in the land of Lincoln at the State Fair on the Lincoln stage, it seemed appropriate that this tall, lanky politician from Central Illinois would auction off something Lincoln related.
Yeah, and we did need an example of it, like you just gave us right there. So we appreciate that. And how cool is that? And just the things that are auctioned off, and it all gets really interesting. I love it. Illinois State Treasurer on the phone line with us now. You mentioned at the booth at the Illinois State Fair. Of course, you can find out all about the unclaimed property and money there, but also college savings. Let's get into that a little bit.
Yeah, we kids are going back to school.
Yeah.
We had our cream of the crop photo contest. We gave some scholarships for college savings, but I like to encourage families that education doesn't stop at kindergarten, doesn't stop at eighth grade, doesn't stop in 12th grade. More and more kids need some sort of education or skills or training post high school to secure a good job.
Yeah.
So that could be a university, it could be a community college, it could be a vocational program, a technical school, or it could be an apprenticeship.
Yeah.
But we stand ready to help their parents save and be ready to help their kids on that next stage of their educational journey.
Cool. A popular path around here we've been hearing from area superintendents, seniors or juniors are looking to specialize in their trade, and they're even venturing out during their school year, in their senior year. They're venturing out to local community colleges to get their start there. There's tuition rates on that. Can these college savings help even before you're done with high school?
Yeah, if there are costs associated with getting those credits at a community college, you can use your college savings account for that. It has to be used for an approved higher education expense, but higher education, we call them college savings, but not every kid needs to go to a four-year university.
Yeah.
But I think that they need some sort of training or skill to have a good job. And so if that looks like a vocational program, if it's just 2 years at community college, if maybe they go into a trade and an apprenticeship and there are costs associated with that, then they can use these 529 accounts for those purposes.
Awesome.
We want to make sure that we have a well-trained and well-educated workforce out there, and studies have shown that if a young person knows they have a college savings account in their name, they work harder in high school.
Absolutely. And just hearing costs associated with college education right there answers the question for us. Absolutely love it there. You mentioned just a bit ago, president of the National Association of State Treasurers. I mean, that's just an awesome title to have there. And you mentioned also sharing these ideas with other states. And how has conversations been going across the nation as president of that National Association there?
I really like this organization.
Yeah.
When I came in, I didn't know. I thought, well, hey, we don't need to be national. It's a focus on Illinois. But we get a lot of great ideas by attending these conferences.
Yeah.
The interchange between different treasurers is really valuable. And so I got more and more involved in the organization, and then I was nominated to be on a track to become president. I was the president last year of the National Association of State Auditors, Comptrollers, and Treasurers.
Wow.
Another organization. But really, I need to thank my staff for that. They do a great job at these conferences, sharing information. And I think because of them, I was nominated to be president.
Really, really
But
awesome.
it really is quite the honor. But to just give your listeners an idea of how important this is, when we set up our ABLE savings program, this is a savings program for people with disabilities. It operates very similar to a college savings program. You can invest money. All that growth is tax-free as long as used for an approved expense. But when we went out to our financial advisors who wanted to work with us on college savings, they weren't interested in working with us on ABLE. And I said, well, what's the problem? Why aren't you bidding? Why isn't it? Well, it's a much smaller pool of people. There's not as much money to be made here. Well, we can't grow the pool of people with disabilities. So we put on thinking camps. We convened other treasurers to discuss this, and we came up with a novel idea. My best partner in this was the state of Kansas. Neither of us could set up a program ourselves, but by working together, we could grow the pool out there and attract more interest from other financial management firms.
Wow.
So we now oversee a consortium of 20 states around this country. We all Illinois puts out an RFP that applies to all of these states. And by 20 states coming together, we're able to negotiate far lower fees and prices than we could by ourselves.
My goodness.
And the Kansas State Treasurer and I don't see eye to eye on a lot of political things, on a lot of policy, but we both agreed that our constituents' disabilities would be better served by having lower fees. And we found an opportunity to work together. So now it is that 20-state consortium is red states and blue states, different backgrounds. We all share the common interest of helping people with disabilities unlock a brighter future.
Gosh, I love hearing how that process went right there, and maybe the ABLE program didn't have the legs that it needed to at the very first part of it right there. But just because it didn't have the funding doesn't mean that this can't be a very bipartisan issue right there. And it turns out partisan. I should have said partisan. Yeah, agreed upon by all.
Bipartisan.
Yeah.
We've found in here and other opportunities, we get more done working together than we do fighting each other.
Absolutely agree. We have Illinois State Treasurer Michael Frerichs on the line with us right now. We're so happy to have him back on our WTIM morning show. We got to take ourselves a break right now, though. But thanks so much to our live stream sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. We'll be right back here on the WTIM morning show.
Your information station, WTIM.
It's time to visit Central Illinois' largest unique destination shopping spot, the new location of the Fur Love Charitable Upscale Resale Shop on the southwest corner of the Taylorville Square holds its grand opening this Saturday. Shop 2 floors and over 14,000 square feet of merchandise in this restored building. Visit the unique Men's in Need, the library, the Children's Loft, Furniture Row, Antique Alley, Visions in Vinyl, Movie Central, Clothing Galore, and much, much more. Join them this Saturday for their grand opening at the Fur Love Charitable Upscale Resale Shop on the historic Taylorville Square.
Applications for residency are now being accepted at Rolling Meadows Senior Living in Taylorville. Enjoy a comfortable lifestyle in a small community. Rolling Meadows offers seniors 62 and older round-the-clock maintenance, controlled access, large kitchens with full-size appliances, on-site laundry, and Wi-Fi in common areas. Located close to shopping and dining, schedule a tour today. Rolling Meadows is sponsored by Lutheran Social Services of Illinois and funded through U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development and Federal Bank of Chicago. Rolling Meadows is an equal housing opportunity provider. Healthy children make better students and stronger athletes. Ensure your child's success by scheduling their back-to-school physicals with SIU Center for Family Medicine. Their experienced team is dedicated to keeping your child at their best. Dial 217-824-1134 now. Don't wait. Call 217-824-1134 to book an appointment today. SIU Center for Family Medicine, your partner in health.
I never thought about being a salesperson ever until I realized we are all in sales. I'm Pat Bryson, and I've spent my entire adult life creating campaigns for businesses using the powerful medium of radio. The Miller Media Group has immediate openings in our sales department, and we might be looking for you. The person who will excel in sales is self-managed and self-motivated to achieve higher goals. They win if they help other people to win. They enjoy helping local businesses succeed. This is a full-time job. If you are good enough to join our team, we will train you and support you. I train salespeople all over the world, and I'm ready to help you become a top multimedia specialist with the Miller Media Group. Previous sales experience is a plus, but not a requirement. But a long-term career is. Are you looking for us? Send your resume to sales@randyradio.com.
CNB Bank and Trust has been helping open doors for Central Illinois farmers since 1854. Find out why they're among Illinois' top ag lenders by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. Member FDIC.
Hi, I'm Bob Reddings of the Bob Reddings family of dealerships. See our huge inventory of about 2,000 vehicles by clicking on our ad at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
And welcome back into our WTIM morning show, this time with Illinois State Treasurer Michael Frerichs on the phone line. Thanks so much to our live stream sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. That first half, we talked with Treasurer Frerichs all about his experience out at the Illinois State Fair, got some live auctioneering in there, unclaimed property, some college savings. Then we started talking about the ABLE program and how it actually came to be. But let's dive deeper into that ABLE program there, Treasurer Frerichs. Accounts for people with disabilities there, but what else do we need to know?
Yeah, this was a program that didn't exist before I came into office.
Wow.
We set this up. The federal government allows states to set up a 529 account for people with disabilities.
Cool.
And what that means is you can put money into an account, you can invest it, the growth is tax-free as long as it's used for disability-related expense.
Okay.
Why is this so important for them? Many people with disabilities who qualify for federal benefits are required to live in poverty in order to maintain those benefits. I mean, they can't have more than $2,000 in assets, which means they can't own a car, they can't own a house. If I've talked to parents who said things like, I had to tell my dad, stop giving money to your grandson for his birthday.
Oh.
You know, grandfather would give checks for his birthday or for the holidays, and it would put him in danger of going over $2,000 in assets. He says that money you're giving him is going to cost him a lot more in the long run. And so this was a real problem. Parents want to save. They want to give their kids a better future, but if they had disabilities, were unable to work, they just couldn't have extra money.
Yeah.
With an ABLE account, those parents can save up to $100,000 in an ABLE account without their child losing their benefits.
Great.
It allows just a nice cushion, a little extra room out there, and we were very happy to set this up. But from the start, we ran into some issues.
And what were those issues?
Well, the first issue was when we went out for an RFP. So we reached out to the money managers who run our college savings program, who want to run our college savings program, and said, here's a very similar program. How would you like to bid on this? And the response was crickets.
Yeah.
No one was interested.
Yeah.
Now, keep in mind, we have now about 900,000 saving accounts in the state of Illinois, college savings accounts. For people with disabilities, the estimated population is somewhere around 30,000. It's a much, much smaller pool. Not every family is going to save. And they said, well, we don't mind. Like, we can make a lot of money off of small fees on 900,000 accounts, but on 10,000 accounts, we had to charge higher fees.
Yeah.
I didn't want to run a program for people with disabilities with high fees.
Right.
So we reached out to other states, found out they had the same problem. We had a convening here in Chicago, brought other treasurers in. We talked it through, and we got this novel idea. Every state works separately on college savings, but we said, what happens if we were to work together on ABLE savings?
Yes.
And we started with a group of 8 states working together. We've grown it to 20. We allow people in those 20 states to pay lower fees than they would have been paying if they had gone by themselves. And just once again, another example of we get more done working together, regardless of our differences. If we work together for a common purpose to help people, we can see improvements in our programs.
Absolutely. It's heartwarming to know this is how it is now, but it's just hard to believe or what it used to look like there. I mean, it's just all great things there. What do people need to know about getting these accounts started?
Well, let me talk about that, but let me tell you why it's a problem.
Yeah.
You know, I talked to another mother who said her daughter had cerebral palsy, wasn't expected to live that long, but she got a job working in a law firm. She got a job sorting and delivering mail.
Perfect.
And she did this with a smile every day, and the lawyers there liked her, and the partners got together and said, we're going to give her a raise. They called her mother and told her, we want to give your daughter a raise. And what did she say?
No.
She said, please don't.
Yeah.
Because right now she earns a small enough amount that with expenses, she keeps her total asset under $2,000. You give her a raise, and you're going to run a risk of her losing this, since that little extra she's going to make might actually cost her more in the long run.
Yeah.
What parent wants to tell their child's employer, don't give my kid a raise? But this is a situation people have been in.
Wow.
And I talked to a woman down in Southern Illinois whose son was at a facility down there, and she said, Treasurer, thank you for this program. Now I don't have to worry about my son's teeth. And I said, what do you mean to worry about his son's teeth? She says, well, hey, look, I'm his mother. I pay for his dental visits. Yeah. I said, well, yeah, that's okay, but like, doesn't he qualify for Medicaid? And she says, he does, but Medicaid only covers dental surgeries.
Oh.
They don't cover teeth cleaning.
Gosh.
And she said, like, I'm more than happy as a parent to pay for that. That's a nice one. But when I'm gone, I can't leave him. I couldn't leave him with enough money to pay for his dental visits, his twice-a-year dental visits. But now, she says, I know I can put money in an ABLE account, and I know that money will be there to take care of his teeth. The concerns parents with people with disabilities have, the way they think is just, they're constantly afraid, worried. She said, this ABLE program doesn't take away all of my anxieties about my son, but it reduces the amount of anxiety I have what's going to happen when I'm gone.
Amazing.
And that right there is why we set up this program.
Absolutely. With the ABLE program, you do not have to worry about making too much money. You can actually go out and you can continue to live your life and pursue a dream without having a stopping of benefits right there. Treasurer Frericks, we are totally out of time here, but any last words for our listeners?
No, all information on all these programs can be found at illinoistreasurer.gov.
Perfect.
Go to Illinois Treasurer, one word, .gov. You can find information on ABLE, on college savings, on unclaimed property. We have some great programs to help improve people's lives in the state, and go check them out.
So good to speak to you again, Treasurer Frericks, and hopefully we can talk again soon.
Tim, thanks very much. You have a wonderful day.
You as well. That was Illinois State Treasurer Michael Frericks on the WTIM Morning Show.
Your information station, WTIM.
In West Bank raids were terrorists. It also says the military operation was aimed at protecting Israeli civilians from attack. Vandalism on the Cornell University campus. Anti-Israel demonstrations picking up again.